Hello, good evening, and welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take a recent MAME ROM set, in this case I have 0.212, and reduce it down to just the playable games with no regional clones, hacks, prototypes, or the mechanical games, quiz games, fruit machines, Mahjong, and all that other stuff that tends to be not very playable or fun. We'll be using some of the built-in tools in the free version of the excellent front-end LaunchBox to achieve this. What you'll end up with is just a really great small set of just the best MAME games. It's obviously not one for the completionists or MAME archivists out there, but it is a good way to get a really fun and playable set of MAME games. The benefits of doing this speak for themselves really. I mean, you're taking a 118 gigabyte set with over 36,500 files, and you'll come away with a 11.5 gigabyte set with just over 2,900 files. That's a massive reduction, and to be honest, not a lot is really lost, especially from a casual game player's perspective. Before we start, here's what you'll need. A non-merged MAME set. I'm using 0.212 in this case. A version of MAME that matches the version of your non-merged MAME set. And then you also need to download LauchBox. So let's make a start. First, let's head over to the LaunchBox website. Enter your email address, sign up, and you'll be sent a link to download the application. Next, over to mamedev.org and download the version of MAME that matches your ROM set you already have. Here I'll be grabbing MAME 0.212b, and that's the 64-bit version for my system. So I now have all three together in one folder. You should really make a backup of your full MAME set before starting. Let's install LaunchBox. It's a portable application, so you can install it on a USB stick or a cloud drive, but in my case I'll be installing this to an external hard drive. Now LaunchBox is installed, let's close the app and go into the LaunchBox directory and create a new folder in there called Systems. Install MAME in there. If you like, you can then create another folder just for MAME. Here's mine called Arcade, just to keep things tidy. Back into LaunchBox and you'll be presented with an Add Game pop-up. Choose Import MAME Arcade Game Full Set. Which will start the wizard. Click through, select a name, and then locate your full non-merged ROM set. Click on it, and it'll take a little while to pass through the 36,500 files. But once done, click Next and LaunchBox will ask to choose an emulator. Click Add, and most of the relevant options will be auto-filled in. You'll just need to press Browse and point to the emulator path. Click OK and Next. For now, I suggest you skip all the metadata and select none of the image scraping options. They are excellent in LaunchBox. You won't be needing them right now, but when you come back a second time, you can choose those. Next comes up the filter. This is the tool that's going to do half the work for us. Skip clones, you can choose a region to prioritize. This means that all other versions of that game will be skipped and just the region's versions will be kept. Obviously you don't want unplayable games, so keep this ticked. If you're into rhythm games and you have a way to play them, you can untick that. Personally, they're not for me, but I will be keeping the mature games as I love me some Gauss Panic 4. I'm also going to deselect the playlists, but this is something again that you'll want to select when you re-import the reduced set the second time. Hit next and wait for the games to be passed. Here they all are. So let's load up our selection into LaunchBox, and that gives me a total of 2,934. Let's go into the platform name on the left hand side, choose the platform, and here's something extra. You can skip this if you want, but I find it useful. Select Audit Arcade and you'll see the list of games. You can select them all here and paste out the values to a spreadsheet if you want to create some lists. Okay, back into LaunchBox. Click on the space between the games and then press Ctrl A to select all the games here. You'll see a little bar at the bottom of each game to know that it's selected. Next up, into the options and tools and choose Export Copy ROM files from selected games in New Folder. Press Yes and let's create a new folder to copy just the selected filtered ROMs into. Press OK and LaunchBox will now do the second part of magic and move just the working or chosen games into their own folder. Let's put the kettle on and have a cup of tea. This will take somewhere between 5 and 30 minutes depending on drive speeds. Once done, you'll get the success message. And here they are, your own personal stripped down, lean and mean, perfect, in inverted commas, MAME set. Here's the side-by-side comparisons from where we started out to where we are now. Something much more manageable and playable. I hope this helped you out. I personally find this method a lot easier than the various ROM managers and DAT files out there, although clearly they have their place. I just wanted something that cuts away most of the waste and gets me straight into the good games. Until next time, keep on rocking in the free world.